Hello again, Internet. It's me, Stutz, in today's video. Let's break down some class changes in CODM in this new season update, especially the stealth class category changes, which I feel so weird because it's one of my favorite category and it offers a different kind of playstyle, different from other players, which is rare and preferred by lots of players in the gaming community, such as stealth, patient, and awareness plays. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? In the recent CODM Battle Royale class changes reportedly reworked stealth class category, so its passive is no longer reduces footstep audio and instead gives damage resistance after sprinting for a short time, which suggests the devs wanted to shift it from pure audio stealth into mobility-based survivability. So from a gameplay design perspective, the change does weaken the class's original identity and its design philosophy. For years, the stealth category encompassing classes like Ninja and Poltergeist, similar operator skills revolved around a core passive, reduced movement noise, specifically quieter footsteps. This lowered both the volume and the detection range of footstep audio cues for enemies, and after chip upgrades, often further minimized mini-map pings or extended the stealth effect, and reduced overall movement noise. It was a dead silence of Battle Royale in CODM. For the mature, methodical player, this passive wasn't just a perk, it was the backbone of a specialized, high-anticipation playstyle. It allowed thinkers to outmaneuver mechanical sweats by utilizing audio manipulation, positioning, and true flanking maneuvers. This sudden changes makes the class a bit jarring. Stealth originally fit the classic playstyle fantasy, such as move quietly, flank, and punish players who rely sound cues. The new reported passive swaps that identity for a sprint-linked bullet resistance bonus, meaning the class now rewards rotation and exposure management rather than silent approach. In simple terms, it turns a stealth specialist into more of a repositioning or skirmish class. The old passive had strong thematic coherence. Stealth classes are supposed to help you avoid detection, not just survive a sprint. A damage reduction sprint bonus can feel generic because it overlaps with the job of movement, sustain, or tank-adjacent classes instead of reinforcing stealth. For players who use stealth for deliberate flanks, silent rotates, and high-skill timing, the new passive can feel like a loss of identity rather than a buff. So for me and to those who love stealth playstyle, this update didn't just feel like a balance adjustment, it felt like a complete identity crisis that threatened the very philosophy of stealth. Let's say hypothetically, from a developer's analytical perspective, true stealth is incredibly difficult to balance in a Battle Royale format. When mature players maximize silent movement, it creates a massive skill gap that relies heavily on premium audio hardware like high-end gaming earphones rather than on-screen mechanics. Developers often view total silence as an uncounterable mechanic. By forcing a damage reduction while sprinting passive, the developers are actively trying to force campers and tactical flankers into open engagement. Call of Duty. Mobile has steadily shifted its engineering toward high mobility, aggressive gunfights, slide canceling, visual tracking, and rapid armor plate usage by replacing sound reduction with damage reduction during a sprint. The developers effectively took a stealth class and re-engineered it into an aggressor class. It rewards players who blow their cover, run into the open, and rely on raw damage sponging to win a gunfight, which is kinda lame and brain-dead playstyles or TikTok warriors. So my question is, why should we fix a damn class if it's not broken or unbalanced or toxic at the first place? Heck, I did heard anyone complaining about Ninja or Poltergeist been overpowered or anything? To the veteran community, the change is inherently paradoxical. It introduces a massive structural contradiction to the class archetype, the paradox of aggressive stealth. The core concept of stealth is avoiding detection entirely. If you are sprinting through a field, Taking bullets and relying on a passive buff to survive incoming damage, you are no longer playing stealth, you are playing a frontline assault. By removing noise reduction, Ninja and Poltergeist users now trigger standard footstep audio and visual radar markers just like every other class on the map. This completely invalidates the active abilities. The point is, what good is going invisible with Poltergeist if the enemy can simply close their eyes and track your loud footsteps directly to your location? The passive actively works against the intent of the active skill. So TiMi or Activision, don't mess up with your wrong moves. Fix the class that are broken and unbalanced, or if there is no any other overpowered classes, leave it be, and start thinking for the next new class with creativity, and know that Ninja class need a serious buff on it, hooking mechanics and snappiness, just like the grapple hooks. In the new Black Ops 7 Warzone, based on the available patch/balance reporting, it looks intentional rather than accidental. However, intentional does not automatically mean well executed, and class reworks can still introduce bugs or hidden edge cases, especially when they alter conditional effects like after sprinting for 2 seconds. So even if the design decision was deliberate, that it may have brought unwanted side effects is reasonable whenever developers overhaul a core physics baseline, like moving from an audio occlusion modifier footstep noise to a real-time hitbox modifier damage reduction during specific animations. The game engine is pushed into unstable territory. This specific change may introduce several critical friction points and suspected bugs into the BR meta, like animation scaling bugs. The damage reduction is tied specifically to the sprinting animation. Jumping, sliding, or sliding into a jump can confuse the engine's tracking system. This occasionally triggers the passive damage buff permanently during erratic movement chains, or cancels it entirely when it shouldn't. It's sad to say this, but what can I do as a very small creator? This appears to be an intentional balancing move by the developers to refresh the BR classes. It's not completely a pointless. Sprint damage reduction is a strong, versatile tool that can make stealth viable in new ways, aggressive rotations, surviving pushes. However, it sacrifices a beloved, thematic, skill-expressive passive that many mature players relied on, making the change feel jarring and potentially alienating for the stealth niche. This is a balance-first change that sacrifices stealth identity for broader BR tuning. It may help the devs reduce passive sound crutch play and make the class more survivable in gunfights, but it also makes the class less distinct and arguably less elegant from a design standpoint. In other words, it looks intentional, but not necessarily ideal. Ultimately, this update represents the death of a traditional, tactical subgenre inside Call of Duty Mobile. It was an intentional move disguised as a balancing patch, a mechanical push to ensure that every match finishes in a chaotic, high-speed face-to-face gunfight rather than a calculated, silent ambush. It could be a net positive if bugs emerge or the meta feels blander. Expect hotfixes or reversals in future patches. The result is a change that may make sense on a spreadsheet, but still feels awkward in actual gameplay. For the mature player who values intellect over reflex, the game has lost a piece of its tactical soul, leaving behind a stealth class that is stealthy in name only. That's it from my side, soldiers. I feel so sad for this new, unnecessary changes happening in BR scenes. I hope in future this developers don't make this kind of silly changes in CODM. For now, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you next time. Peace.
Down to the last 5 teams. Airdrop has been delivered.
Airdrop incoming. Voidwalker activated.
Airdrop has been delivered. The safe zone is collapsing. Only 2 teams left. Getting close to victory.
Warning, EMP drones have been deployed. Voidwalker activated. Be careful, Poltergeist is active. Airdrop incoming.
Airdrop has been delivered.
Voidwalker activated.